Hello everyone, welcome back to the homestead. I am out in the greenhouse again today because it's very cold outside. Today we're going to do another farm to table meal, and it's Thanksgiving week, so I thought it'd be fun to do a Thanksgiving-ish meal for today's farm to table video. And just to clarify what I mean by farm to table, I'm going to be preparing a meal using only what we've produced here on our homestead. There's going to be a few exceptions. For example, we don't produce our own salt. Right now we're not milking a cow, so we don't have our own butter. So there'll be a few condiments and spices and things that we don't produce on the homestead that will be included in this meal. But other than that, it's only what we have produced. So instead of turkey, we're going to be using chicken. All of our turkeys right now are for breeding, so we're not going to be processing any of them anytime soon. We do have a turkey that some friends gave us that's going to be for our actual Thanksgiving. But for today, we're just going to be doing 2 chickens. I've already got those going. I wasn't able to put them in the oven right away. This morning I was making some pumpkin cranberry spiced breakfast cookies. So in the meantime, the chicken just sat on the stove top. And then when I was done with the cookies, I was able to put the chickens in. So if you've never had roosters or old hens, they're very different than store-bought chickens. So today what we're having is 2 very small old hens. We like to help make the meat a little bit more tender by initially, once we process the meat, we soak it for at least 24 hours in ice cold water, sometimes with salt as well. And that helps make the meat more tender and not quite as chewy. Another thing I do for those type of birds is I cook them for a very long time on a low heat in the oven. So they're going to be cooking all day long today. And hopefully I'll be able to pull the meat off pretty easily when it's time for our meal. And hey, would you please stay tuned to the end because we have a really exciting announcement. Caleb is finally at the place of being able to launch our store. He has worked so hard on this. He's overcome so many challenges, and I won't go into all the different things he's had to deal with along the way, but he is planning on launching the store. He's going to share all about that with you at the end of today's video, so please stay tuned to the end. So I don't have the meal plan totally nailed down yet, but other than the chicken, we're hopefully going to have a little bit of gravy, some mashed potatoes. We have lots of sweet potatoes, so I'm hoping to make a crustless sweet potato pie because we don't produce any of our own grains right now. I will probably use just a little bit of store-bought flour to make the gravy. We don't have a lot of greens growing in the garden right now. We've had some really hard frosts, so I might be able to get a little bit of kale and chard from under our mini tunnels in the garden, but I'm not sure. So the only green we really have off the land right now is some frozen green beans from this summer. So I'll probably pull those out, and we've got a few onions left. I can add those to the beans. And then I think we also still have some frozen autumn olives. So I might make some sort of a little sauce to go on top of the sweet potato pie using those. So that's the plan so far. We'll see how it unfolds. Thank you so much for joining us today for this farm to table meal. I hope that it blesses you in some way. Just noticed the covers blew off of these 2 beds out here. I'm not sure when. And so I think I will be using these today. This is purple lady bok choy, and this one's looking okay still, but a lot of these have some frost damage. So I think I will go ahead and add these to the meal. And let's check out this other bed. Oh, very sad. This is my chard bed, and it's not looking so happy. It's definitely got some frost damage. So we've lost quite a bit of chard here because of the wind blowing the cover off. That's the one downside of doing these covers. If you live in an area that gets a lot of wind, sometimes in the middle of the night, those covers can just blow off without even knowing it. You lose a lot that way. I think some of these chard plants will recover though and keep growing. Especially, I think we're supposed to get a little bit warmer weather this week, so hopefully some of those plants will recover and we'll still get some chard. And I did just check the kale bed, and the kale is looking good. Hey kitty, what are you doing in there, cat? That's not for you. The kale's not growing very fast, but it's not damaged at all. It looks good. Come on out, kitty kitty. Come on. Come on. Come on. Good kitty. Come on. Come on. You don't belong in there.
Flowers from my garden, but they're all different colors.
What do you think, girls? Is that good?
Yeah! Super good.
Super good. 2 thumbs up.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Enjoy. You dog's enjoying a warmer day. It's already warming up this morning. Well guys, it's the next morning. Last night's meal was so good. I feel like I was in the kitchen pretty much all day yesterday. It was a lot of work, but it was worth it. It turned out really well. Whenever you've got some limited resources to work with, you really have to think outside of the box, and it can be really fun to actually get creative and do some new things. The spiced autumn olive sauce that we put on top of the sweet potato pie was totally different than what you would normally put on a pie like that, but it was so good. To make that, I just we have a duck on our greenhouse roof. I just got distracted by that. There's actually a puddle up there, and the Muscovy ducks love to get on our greenhouse roof and get little drinks out of those puddles up there. So for the sauce, all I did was simmer the autumn olives with in a little bit of water for a couple hours, and then I used our stick blender and blended them all up in the water. Then I added some clove, cinnamon, ginger, and let it simmer some more. Then I strained it. I used a little bit of arrowroot powder to thicken it, and then sweetened it with raw honey to taste. And it was so good. It just made a really nice topping for that pie. I did end up using a little bit of einkorn flour to make the gravy. And so that was just broth from the chickens and a little bit of flour and butter. And then that worked out really well for the green beans. We typically don't care for frozen green beans. They're kind of just a little bit mushy. So I usually just throw our frozen green beans into soups. So to make those green beans a little more enjoyable this time, I just poured some of that gravy into the beans. And then I made some crunchy onions to put on top. Basically for the onions, I just sauteed the onions with a little bit of butter and salt first, and then I put them in the coolest part of our oven to finish them off, and that just got them crunchy, and it was so good on top of the green beans with gravy. So all in all, I'd say this farm to table meal was our best yet. It was really enjoyable. So now, as I mentioned in the beginning of the video, we are ready to launch our store at last. So I'm going to let Caleb tell you all about that.
Hey guys, just first wanted to start by saying thank you for your patience. It's like my mom said, there's been a lot of problems and a lot of things had to work out with the website and setting up the store. But we're finally ready for a beta launch, which means we're still working out all the kinks and trying to get running smoothly. And so part of that is we're not actually selling any of our physical goods yet, but we still do have about 50 products. Once we figure out shipping, we're hoping to add our physical goods and along with a whole bunch of other products. So for all of you purchasing within the first week of our launch, we're going to be offering a discount code. It's OPEN10, all lowercase, and you'll get a 10% off. More information in the description below. Just a quick note. The website is not currently set up for mobile, so if you're trying to do it on a mobile device, it might be a bit off. So give me a little more time to work on that. And I'd love any of your ideas and feedback. You can go to our channel community page to post your ideas there. So thank you all for your support and encouragement. I really appreciate it.
Alright, that's it for today, guys. If you like our videos and you have not subscribed yet, please hit the subscribe button below. Thank you to our patrons who make these videos possible. We appreciate you so much. Until next time, we pray blessings over you and yours, and whatever you do, do it with your whole heart.